Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Tam Cam, the world's most backhanded, laid-back podcast.
Yeah, and before we start, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Let's start.
Okay.
I can't wait till that segment gets a little bigger, when we get sponsors.
Okay, so how's everyone doing today?
So good.
Good.
So great.
What's new? Does anybody have anything interesting that happened over the weekend?
Tamila's not here.
I would like to say, Tamila is not here.
Oh, I forgot to mention that part. Tamila will not be present on this episode of the Tam Cam.
Don't tell her, though.
Yeah, don't say anything, though.
She doesn't know that we...
She might fire us.
We're just going to hack into her YouTube account and post this. So
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Chance and I had a wedding we're in.
That's
this
Congratulations.
That's
I'm
true.
so happy for you guys.
They
No.
got married.
We got married. Thank you.
How was it? How's
Shout
married
out.
life?
It's
We did it for the benefits.
it's a lot harder than
We
people
don't
think.
love each other.
Here's some tips. There's not really extra benefits involved. Sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, dang.
You want to get a divorce?
That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
true. There's tons of benefits.
The hard part right now for us, though, if we're keeping on this bit, is figuring out which apartment we want to keep.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like-
Well, yours is bigger though.
Mine is bigger.
But
Yeah, but
yours is
mine's
second bedroom.
yeah, Nate's actually, no, that's not a hard decision at all.
You kick Jake out.
Send them to the...
Oh, send
Oh, we'll
us
just
to
have
City, yeah.
Jake and I trade places.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think he would like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one is going to be easier to have a dog in, though? Because that's so important.
None of them.
Yeah, neither.
Neither of them.
Okay.
And I speak from experience.
So, yeah. And then, no, but Ricky and Carissa got married. Carissa's my sister, and Ricky is my new brother-in-law.
That's
They
gotta
got
be
married
cool
at the
to say.
Heights.
It was pretty good, man. It was a great wedding.
The reception was beautiful.
They
Ceremony.
catered Chick-fil-A.
Oh, it was so amazing.
Really?
I
It wasn't
ate-
just the nuggets though.
It was
but
the
there's
nuggets
no
and the tenders.
fries.
Yeah,
There was no fries.
it was sublime.
Yeah.
And they had like all the sauces too. They get as many as you wanted. I took way more than I could eat, but I
That's
figured the
probably why I
occasion
didn't
called
get
for
any.
it.
So I also had Chick-fil-A this weekend,
Mm.
but I was alone.
Did you use your card?
I did.
So, did it show you more numbers?
Oh, I didn't check.
Oh,
I should have checked.
yeah.
So for our viewers, or listeners, whatever it is, that's called
Consumers.
consumers, radicalists, whatever it is. Nate, Chance, and myself last January decided that it would be a great idea to endure the freezing cold grand opening ceremonies of Chick-fil-A here in Prescott Valley, and so we got 100 free Chick-fil-A meals,
We did.
or 1 year free, not 100.
Yeah. It works out to be 52.
One a week if you get it once a week.
Yeah.
I've missed so many weeks though.
So me and Nate went in last week to find out how many we had left, and we were a little bit confused because he printed out this receipt and it said like 26 have only been used.
Yeah.
And we're like, I don't know. Maybe it's 26 left. Either way,
We still have a lot.
we still
That's
have
still a lot of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
and we only have until February to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the final like 2 weeks leading up to that February, I'll be eating Chick-fil-A for breakfast, lunch, and dinner until it's gone.
Well, you only get the same meal, so you're gonna be eating
A
the
number
same
one.
meal,
No, I know what I
number
said.
one for breakfast.
With fries and
I
a
know.
drink.
I know what I said.
for breakfast, lunch, and
3 Diet Cokes a day, dude.
Hey, if we carpool, that still makes it a lot cheaper.
This is
That's true.
This is
Because
very
one, we're
true.
not paying for it, but we're just paying gas.
Yeah, we're all very frugal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is, it was about this time that we saw that they were doing it.
Yeah.
And we
yeah.
started,
It's like October.
it was in October when we were like, oh, let's do this. And I thought it was just like okay, we're saying we're doing this. And then,
Well, the saddest part was we all of us here in the trailer, which last year Tamila was an intern at this time, and we were all really excited about it because it was like, hey, team building.
yep,
And then Tamila couldn't go. She found out
she should have just switched her ID.
because she didn't live here
Yeah.
permanently, technically.
Yeah.
So you'd only get it if you lived in Arizona?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to.
In the area,
Yeah, you have
How
to.
did you prove your, like,
your
status?
driver's license or like a bill.
I think I used my apartment lease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so so intense.
It was like the Tri-City area. So if you're
Yeah.
like Chino, Prescott Valley, or Prescott, you could go. If you're like Phoenix or like, I think it was even like Mayor, you couldn't do it.
if you were a little bit further.
That's so intense.
Yeah,
So
that was a
whatever.
miserable night.
We did. Here's more. I hope she doesn't listen to this because I hope it doesn't remind her. But we did talk about, one of us would pay for her meal.
Oh, we did
Um,
And we didn't
to
do
balance it out.
yeah, and we
Like,
haven't
every
done
single
that.
time you guys went and used it,
Yeah.
you would pay for her.
Yeah. So she wasn't paying every single time. But
For everybody listening, just to let you know, we're all just adjusting over here, so get ready
It
for
just-
that.
Be clarifying here. We are adjusting our microphones,
Oh,
so everybody knows what is
Important. That's an important detail
what is being adjusted
to
exactly.
not
here.
gloss over. Woo. Okay.
Are you
I think
okay,
I got it.
Chance?
Yeah, I think I got it.
cool.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
It was hers.
I can't
Oh.
hear hers.
you can't hear me at all?
I can hear her.
A little bit better now.
I can just get closer. I just felt a little uncomfortable, but I'll
Yeah, get
feel
closer
uncomfortable.
and use your diaphragm when you talk.
Will do.
Speaking of
Perfect.
diaphragm, so this weekend,
Yeah.
What a transition.
this weekend I had a group that I was doing up in the Springs, and this guy, super awesome. Shout out to Marco. He showed up with his own microphone, and it was a headset that was wireless. And so he had this like Britney Spears mic, and it sounded amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
I was really happy.
Yeah, he
So-
worked it.
Yeah,
I
he
saw
really-
him
he
Sunday.
owned it.
And he was about it, so. Well, later.
I have a
we
meeting, I'll
we
be
didn't even introduce Cassidy.
That's
Oh,
okay.
we didn't.
That's okay.
Nate, would you like to do the honors? Considering that you like her and everything.
I do, but I would love to hear what you had to say.
Okay. We
You
have
like me?
We have a.
No, I do like you.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah.
I like you too.
We do have a special guest on the podcast today. Her name is Cassidy.
Hello.
She is a lady, and she is
Maybe.
our good friend Nate's girlfriend.
Oh, I'm more than just that.
No, I'm still getting into
Okay,
it.
okay. I was like, please don't identify me as that.
Yeah. She's also an incredibly talented
Oof, you're too
tech
kind.
person. She was one of our contracted producers over the summer, and she just freaking knocked it out of the park. She came into my venue actually and programmed some of the lights, and I will tell you they were the best lights that we had that summer. So,
You're too kind. Thank you, Chance.
and yeah, and she also is the person who informed me that at ASU they have kombucha on tap.
Yes, they
On
do.
tap.
I dropped out of college a while ago, but I will go back just for that,
Just for the tap.
just for the kombucha on tap. So anyway, that's Cassidy, and she's here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
What sucks though, Chance, is you still have to pay for it.
I mean,
Was there ever a point
That's
that
a-
he
that-
said?
that's
Well,
a,
like if you go back to college
what
and you're like paying tuition and you're just going for the kombucha, you still have to pay. on top of-
you say just going for the kombucha, like that's not enough.
Well, no, yeah.
You can also just get the kombucha on tap without having to go to college.
You can.
Yeah.
I knew that. I was
What
just
are
testing
you-
you guys. Cool. So anyway, Cassidy, word on the street is
So whenever like I'm bored, I always look up like how-to videos,
oh, that's what you guys are laughing at.
and
Okay, but this one.
and there's just so everybody knows, everybody probably already knows. There's a lot of how-to videos and
Like for
Yeah.
everything in life.
for everything
It's
in
true.
life. So if you ever want to like learn something, just look it up. And
I'm a
this
little
one
concerned
came up.
why you're trying to learn this.
I can't see. What are we looking at here?
How to spoon.
Properly.
There's a proper way to spoon.
And there's like 15 steps with like we recommend for each step too. And there's like
Oh,
a
man.
visual for each one.
Well, what's better? Is this video better than the WikiHow on how to spoon?
Oh, seriously.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Is
and
there
then,
Spooning for Dummies, the book?
Spooning for dummies.
If not, we should.
I'm just concerned as to why he's looking this up.
No, it came up on like.
Yeah.
It came up on this side screen. Like on the side screen, it shows you like all these weird videos.
All right, so Chance.
See right here.
You don't need to show me.
No, it's
We're
okay.
getting really off track here.
Yeah. No, this is how it goes. It seems like we know what we're doing, but we don't. We just kind of.
All right, what
do
is
our
everybody
thing.
going to be for Halloween?
Chance, what are you gonna be for Halloween?
I probably won't follow through with it, but I kind of want to be Rene Magritte, the painter, and he has this self-portrait where he's just wearing a suit, but you don't see his face because he paints this apple just floating right over his face. So I want to find a way to like create like a green apple out of something that
No,
I
so
can
here's what you
see
do.
through. Like the same stuff they use with like a morph suit maybe.
Yeah.
And then like put it on my face and then just wear a suit.
Or you can figure out a way to have like a pole that runs right over the top of your head and a string with like a literal apple just on that string.
I feel like that would get really irritating though.
Or
I mean, you gotta commit.
And if I got hungry, I'd probably just eat it.
or you wear your jacket hoodie and like put a rope or string on top and then
that's an
dangle
idea,
like
too.
your iPhone.
It's gonna be either that or Vladimir Gluten, which is where I'm going to get a mask or make a mask of Vladimir Putin's face and wear it, and then just staple empty beer cans and bread to my suit.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Do they have to be empty though? Because if they're not empty, can I hang out with you?
Well, I mean,
Can you empty them along the way? That's the real
oh,
question.
that's a good idea.
So you start with them full,
Yeah.
and then by the time that you get to the last one, you know your night's almost over.
All right, then it's official. I'm going as Vladimir Gluten.
I kind of want to be Post Malone and put like all the tattoos on my face
Oh,
and like
that'd be funny.
French braid my hair, but we're gonna go as Jim and Pam from The Office.
Really?
Well, maybe not. He looks really surprised.
Oh
so
no!
maybe we're
Last
not
night
anymore.
I had a meeting with some friends and someone gave me a great idea. Oh, Popeye and Olive.
Nope, not happening.
What?
Ooh, are we deciding on a couple's costume for you guys
So
right now?
what I really wanted to do was a low-key astronaut and alien, but I don't know how you do a low-key astronaut because like you're either in the full NASA suit or you're just wearing like a NASA t-shirt, and neither of those are okay. So we're not gonna do that one. And then my sister got mad at me for trying to do Jack and Coke, which I thought would be funny. Okay, yeah.
That
so
is funny.
see,
That is
exactly.
funny.
I thought it was big, and so she got
I
really
like that.
upset. So we did a Instagram poll, and Jim and Pam won for all of them. So he'll be 3-punch hole Jim, and I'll be like Pam dressed up as a low key kitty, because that's what she was in The Office.
Oh, that's right. I like that. I think that's cute. I like that.
Yeah, there was a few other ones that I was like, meh, maybe. Oh, is that Haley Pham?
Lilo and Stitch.
I love Haley Pham. She's a YouTuber. She's just really relatable. She's in high school and she just moved out. So
Of high school or her house?
of her house. She's still in high school, but she said that
What?
she might get dropped. But she doesn't really care.
That's fair.
So I really like her.
Well, she has 1 million subscribers, so
yeah.
or 1.5.
I like
so.
that.
So that's Halloween plans. I think that we should take Moy and Louie trick or treating since we don't have anything else to do.
Ooh, we could. They
That's a good idea.
they usually go to like Scottsdale. and
Because that's where you
trick-or-treat.
get like the full candy bars.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Mm.
and like there was a house in Scottsdale last year that gave out $1 bills to everybody that came.
Dang.
Which
Wow.
is like the equivalent of like a full candy bar, I guess.
That's
but
pretty cool.
That way you can like choose. Fun.
Wow. So Cassidy,
Yes.
Broadway.
Oh, so ready for this.
This is where I'm out.
No.
We'll make it quick.
Hamilton. I'm just kidding.
No.
No, I'm totally kidding.
Hamilton is the best musical I've never seen.
Have you never seen Hamilton?
No.
It's actually pretty good. I don't
No.
know if it's
Why
worth...
not, Chance?
What do you
Well,
mean?
they're like $1,000 tickets.
Because they're super
They're
expensive.
so expensive. You can watch it online.
Yeah, I've heard parts of the soundtrack. I don't know. It seems cool.
It's not worth the hype. It's really good. I think it's fun for somebody who's really into history. Like,
That's what I kind of gathered from it.
yeah.
Is it for me? It's like it seems like a solid musical, but like I don't know. I'm not like completely sold on it.
No, yeah. The only reason I went to go see is because we got tickets in New York.
Oh
which I thought was awesome. Like, love the experience of it, but you know, it just wasn't. It's great. I love the music. I think I think Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote it and composed it and did all that jazz. He actually didn't compose. That's my bad.
Yeah.
I just think that he's a genius on like what he wrote about and how he did it, but it's not worth the hype. I think there's better ones out there.
Like what?
You know, I think a classic is always going to be Wicked.
Oh, I love Wicked.
I think it's amazing. I know that some people are like so over it because it's like been done a million times,
All
but
right. Some things are cliched for a reason.
I think it's an amazing musical.
Yeah,
I think Phantom
great
of the Opera
soundtrack.
will always be timeless.
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera is just beautiful.
I love Phantom of the Opera. That's one I grew up with.
Yeah.
See, I love. I used to really like Book of Mormon.
I think it's funny.
It's funny, but I don't know. Ever since I rededicated my life to Christ, I have a hard time with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty blasphemous at times.
I think it's good to separate the intention of it versus the message of it, because I don't think the intention of it is to be crude or rude.
No, it's certainly not, and it's the South Park guys. Their whole angle on the Book of Mormon wasn't to create an offensive musical, because that's just how they are.
Yeah.
What they wanted to do is that Trey Parker grew up loving like Rodgers and Hammerstein, and he's a big musical buff, and like all the South Park movies a musical. The first movie he made, Cannibal, is a musical. You know.
Yeah.
He's written so many songs for South Park too, you know, and so they wrote the Broadway musical. I think they spent I think 7 years writing it, Matt and Trey, and then they had, I forget his name, but he was somebody who worked on Avenue Q, which is another
crude one.
Yeah, is pretty something else. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, and so his idea was like Mormons look so happy all the time. They look like they're about to break into song anyway. So their idea was like, can we write a legit musical, but instead of, you know, about kids who are delivering newspapers, instead of about, you know, the Wicked Witch of the West, the concept is Mormons. Can we do that? And they did, and it totally knocked sales out of the park.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it won like 9 Tonys or something like that.
It was very popular during like the 2015 Tonys, I believe.
Yeah.
It was really, I remember listening to the soundtrack before I was allowed to go see it. My mom was just like, you gotta wait a little bit, like, just to not expose me to that quite yet. I was a bit younger, but I just thought it was genius the way that they did it. And I also think that they created catchy songs that weren't annoying.
They weren't annoying, and all the songs are pretty hard to take out of the context of the musical, because they move the plot along. And, the one takeaway I liked for the Book of Mormon is the idea that, like, you can go to a third world country and you can tell them anything, but at the end of the day, they're still a third world country and they're still struggling. And I feel like, even though I don't agree with I don't like some of the jokes. Like, I get the idea, you know, that they make fun of everything, and I support free speech. Just personally, some of it I can't get behind.
For sure.
I think the idea that, like, yeah, you know, you can tell somebody anything, but at the end of the day, it's still a third world country. Like, what are you actually going to do? Are you actually going to get down, like, get your hands dirty and build a house, or, you know,
Words
donate?
Can only go so far when you're in that kind of situation.
Exactly. And I liked that part. Yeah, I mean, and it's the South Park guys. Those guys are geniuses.
So you said that used to be one of your favorite musicals. What's like one right now that you can say pretty confidently is one of your favorites?
I love Hair.
Interesting choice.
Love Hair because of the music.
Okay, yeah. It's really complex and layered, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you can pick it apart really and like find some amazing like riffs and chords and just composing in that.
Oh yeah, it's so good. There's a lot of those songs that are just on my rotation on my phone. I love Hair. I love what else? I did like Avenue Q a lot, even though I think nihilism is a cheap ploy in writing. I still thought it was pretty funny.
Did you ever look into Dear Evan Hansen?
No,
I know that. Okay,
no.
So that was a little bit of what I would call maybe like a younger musical. Like, it wasn't as complex and as mature.
Okay.
Like, I felt like high schoolers could watch it and also find it interesting. And sometimes those musicals maybe turn me off a little bit. But Dear Evan Hansen, I think, was really, really, really beautiful. I think the message was so important for high school kids and maybe kids just going through like anything to watch it. And I felt like it was a really good, almost like not so much rom-com, but almost like, you know, you're gonna watch something on Netflix that is like mindless and like also has a really good message, kind of like that, but in musical form. And
That's
I
pretty
just
cool.
think that the music is awesome in it.
That's great. Another one I like is Escape from the, or Escape to, or Escape from, I don't remember, the Forbidden Planet. It's a futuristic version of The Tempest by Shakespeare, and all the songs are like classic rock songs. So you got like Beach Boys and the Zombies and stuff like that.
Have you ever seen Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812?
No.
Okay, that's based off of a Russian either novel or opera, I forget. And the opening song is like the perfect. Is this now an ASMR video?
Are those Whoppers?
What?
You like
No, keep going. Keep going.
Sorry, my bad.
Excuse me, Cassidy and I are talking about Broadway and musicals.
Okay, so Great Comet of 1812. The opening song is really fast and introduces all of the characters as if you were to be reading a script almost. Like, start with the characters, go into how the plot is going to develop, and it is like almost breaking the fourth wall on this old Russian, I think it's an opera. So genius. Wow, the music in that is beautiful.
I'll have to check that out.
It's so good.
I love opera quite a bit. They aren't Broadway musicals, but I love Gilbert and Sullivan's.
Really?
Okay,
What's
yeah.
your favorite kind of opera?
Ooh,
Let me
I can
show
show you.
Oh no! Wait, we need to pause this
Tennessee
conversation and tell the story.
Oh, we told it in the
Oh,
last
we
Okay,
told it in
episode.
the
okay,
last
because
one,
I was
yeah.
gonna say that is
I
so.
I thought you said you
good.
listened to our podcast.
I told you I got really mad at the first episode when you guys were talking about Broadway, and
Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
But yeah, Pirates of Penzance and the Mikado are
No,
two.
Pirates of Penzance.
Mhm. I played Frederick in high school,
Of course, it's,
and I suck at singing, so it was not one of my better moments. But
that's one musical I think is overdone, but I also think it's because I was a theater kid, so that's just one.
that's
I think
fair.
about all the
That's
time.
yeah.
That's just like Annie. Everybody does Annie.
Yeah.
I think it's a great
never
musical.
did it. Not when I was there.
Really? I think it's a great musical. I love the movie. Like, I'm not trying to diss it at all, but I really just personally have seen it way too many times.
No, that's
and
fair. That's fair.
I think also another timeless one that can get, like, nixed only due to, like, it being done a lot is Sound of Music. But I think it's a great musical.
That's a great musical. Absolutely.
Into the Woods is.
That's a good one. Ooh, Sweeney Todd.
Okay, all about Sweeney
That's
Todd.
up there for me.
That's a great one.
I love Sweeney Todd. I
That's one
remember
could always put on.
me and my family were looking for something to watch,
Mhm.
and we were going through the pay-per-view, and I was like, Sweeney Todd, let's do that. And they weren't super happy about it.
I'm sure, yeah.
I love it. I think it's an amazing musical. I think it's twisted and
Oh,
demented,
yeah.
and that's what I love. And yeah.
I love Sweeney Todd. Trying to think. I'm looking through my Broadway playlist currently.
And The Nightman Cometh from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's
That's-
probably the best musical ever written.
That's the only one Nate knows.
That's the only one I've seen. So yeah.
Billy Elliot, I think, is also a great one.
Mhm.
I saw that in London, not with the original cast 'cause it's been around since before I was born, but just amazing musical to see in London. Also, Mary Poppins I saw in London. That was pretty amazing.
Love me some Mary Poppins.
Ooh,
talk about
Chicago the musical.
Cats for a second.
Oh no, we can't
No.
actually. We're just gonna move right on.
I'm right there
What-
with
why?
you, Cassidy.
Les Mis. That one, I don't know. I thought the live version was pretty good, except for who played the prison keeper.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, whatever his name was, the actor that played it, he sounded like he ate a stack of pancakes before he sang. For like, the
Oh,
entire time.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
It just really, I couldn't get past that.
I like to tell people that the movie was the best adaptation of Les Mis ever because people get really mad when you say that.
Do they?
They do.
Interesting. I don't think it's the best.
I
But I
have
thought it was pretty
one
good.
friend in particular who gets really mad whenever I say it.
The Drowsy Chaperone.
Have you? I mean, there's really one that we should be talking about right now, and
What's that?
we just haven't. Spider-Man the musical.
That got shut
Ooh.
down after like 2 months. So many deaths,
After
so
people
many
kept
injuries.
dying.
My favorite thing is, for some reason, they always tell us this in colleges that the New Yorker is like the place to get cartoons from for like educational like cartoons. And I remember distinctly the cover of the New Yorker when they were making fun of the Spider-Man musical. It was like a hospital room with all the Spider-Mans, like their legs were all up in casts, and like they were all in hospital beds, and all these guys dressed in like Spider-Man costumes.
That's brutal. I mean,
That- wow.
people actually died.
Yeah, did you not know that?
No, I know.
Oh yeah, no, it's like intense.
Dang.
Wait, why?
Because they would fly over the audience and do all of these tricks that they were not prepared to do, like rigging wise. So like the actors were fully capable of it. They were like, I wouldn't say that like, I think the best way to describe it is that they were trying to make it a little bit below Cirque level show with not Cirque level rigging. Like,
Dude, with great power comes great responsibility.
I'm sure somebody has said that before about that very specific topic.
I'm very original.
42nd Street, one of my favorite musicals ever.
Really? I haven't seen it.
I think it's because of all the dancing and tapping in it, and I was a dancer before, like
That's
a
fair.
musical junkie.
I need a black metal musical. I need a black metal musical.
American Idiot.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you're right. It already exists.
Well, I don't know if it's.
It's not even.
metal.
It's not even punk music, really.
I loved American Idiot. Great.
I liked the
Have
album.
you listened to the soundtrack?
I don't think I have.
It's the American Idiot album.
No, I know.
They're
but
very different. One of them's awesome, and the other one is
subpar.
The same thing.
it's the same thing.
Okay, I'm revisiting a joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm trying to... Okay, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Wait, is that from the first podcast? Okay, now I remember.
They
That's
made
where I
fun
started to
of
get mad.
Chance was very excited about the album.
Have you ever seen Deaf Broadway, the touring group?
No.
So they recreate musicals with deaf actors and actresses, and that's how I first saw American
Wow.
Idiot.
How do they recreate it? Never mind. I'm gonna get in trouble for that question. So I'm just gonna...
South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. There's another great musical. I think it was Stephen Sondheim actually wrote Trey Parker saying that was his new favorite musical. I think you probably have to look that one up, but I'm pretty sure I heard that at one point.
Okay, so
Let's talk about some really bad musicals.
hold on. I have one more I want to talk about.
It's not Cats, is it?
No,
Okay.
this is actually a good one.
Okay.
For my 18th birthday, my mom took me to see Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, we already talked about that.
Okay, well, I wasn't here.
Okay. Well, let's revisit it. We talked about how we both love it.
So here's the deal: is I was so upset because The Lion King had left Vegas before I had gotten to see it, and Lion King is my favorite movie of all time.
Okay, well, the musicals. Have you seen the musical
I have
yet?
not.
Okay, it's crazy.
Well, that's what I've been told, but I didn't get to see it, so I was really mad.
Like, it's like the closest thing to a live animal musical that you'll ever see.
It sounds really creepy the way you
It's
put that,
amazing.
Sounds like the movie.
but I'm so down to see it.
Animal Farm, the musical.
So instead, my mom took me to see Phantom of the Opera, which I really love. I really love the movies, all of them, all of the adaptations of it. I really like Gerard Butler. I don't care what people say. I think he did a really great job. I think people also say that he did a really good job, so I think that's okay. But I went to see this show.
You're in the clear there.
And it was so breathtaking in the way that they did it. There's a scene where they're running around, and the Phantom is chasing Christy. And so they literally run from one side of the stage to the other. But there's like these platforms on the back side of the stage, and it's almost instantaneous. And I'm like, that's so cool. Obviously, they had like 2 actors dressed in the costumes. That's what it seemed like, at least, unless they are really, really talented. But they'd run off stage right and then literally show up on stage left, like immediately. And it was just that whole concept was really great. We did that with something here at camp.
Yeah, I did that at Yavapai.
Yeah, I did that. It was intentional.
Tamila, I think Tamila was having a bad day or something, and
Way to put her
I
on
would
blast.
on the comms, I'd be like, "Hey Tamila, look," and then I'd pop my head out, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then I like ran to the other side of the stage. I'm like, "Okay, look now," and then I'd pop up, and she was dying, and I was dying as well because I'm
You
out of
were
shape,
running.
and I was running back and forth.
I still think one of the single greatest moments that we had this summer was putting Baloney in a box. Baloney's one of our friends. That's his name. His
Don't ask.
legal name.
That is his Christian name.
We put him in a box and made him sit on the stage for 30 minutes inside of this box until the cue of the music, where he then popped out of this box and threw candy at children.
Like, not like tossed it. It was like violently, let's see how far we can chuck this candy into these
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. Well, the best part about because that's been a running gag for a while where we work, and it's basically our friend Baloney is this heavy-set man with a goatee,
Yeah.
and
the
it's
best.
kind of actually really creepy if you think about it.
Yeah, if you really dive into this, it's a little creepy.
Yeah, but it's brilliant, and he's been a fan favorite, I think, since 2015.
I
when
actually
we
believe
first had
that
the
there
prize
is
bunny.
an Instagram for him.
Yeah,
created
he
has
just
a prize
for
bunny.
the prize bunny.
And our friend Sarah took some fantastic pictures
There's
of that
one
moment
of him
you just talked about
looking
with the present.
Like miserable. Not that he was, but he just like put on this face for this photo, and it's like a very intense, like
Very accurate.
self-portrait. I'll try to find it right now.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's perma mood.
So what's funny though is, a couple weeks later there was a moment where we needed the prize bunny, but we couldn't use Baloney because he was working, so we had to bring in another special guest. And don't get me wrong, if he's listening, I love you,
Jumbo.
but there's nobody like Baloney the prize bunny.
I think that
No, there's nobody. It's like you can get somebody to play the prize bunny and they'll do a good job, but if you're not baloney, you're just not living up to what it could be.
I think this is something I had to get used to while working at a summer camp, or just working at any camp, I guess. Was that everybody wore those like slip-on sandal things called chacos.
Ugh.
And
you can't work at camp if you don't own chacos.
Okay,
so
well, I don't.
I shouldn't be working here.
No,
yeah,
me neither.
exactly.
Me neither.
So, but I think that my favorite part about the whole prize bunny thing was that he's in a onesie, a try to be adult bunny onesie with,
It was an adult onesie. He's just a big dude.
and
Yeah.
he always had chacos on his feet. And I think that was something that always caught me off guard, were the chacos.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So, just so our listeners know as well, we are already planning for next year. We'll be in the same venue. It's a Yavapai College. It's a massive theater venue.
Don't come find us though.
Please.
Or do.
Or do.
Unless you have money to spend.
Yeah. So, I've already done some research to find somebody that can rig a wire
Over the
so we can drop him in from the ceiling.
Ooh, I think I know. a
drop him
company
in
that-
from
Like,
the
have
ceiling.
him like Peter Pan style fly around.
Okay, because I was gonna say
Oh,
dropping him
that's right,
in
we
from the
talked about
ceiling
this.
would like keep him there for like 30 minutes
That's exactly
in a
what I want.
box, and he's gonna have to dive out of the box this time
there's a
instead
cat-
of popping
There's a
out of
catwalk.
it.
I know.
We're gonna have the
company that
kids
can do
sign a
that.
waiver saying
We can't tell you what's going on,
You may
but
die.
you have to wear a helmet inside at all times.
Spider-Man all over again.
Oh no, the New Yorker's gonna be prize bunny in a hospital in a onesie.
So, anyways, that's happening. Hopefully, no promises, but
I would love there to be a scenario where we find out the outfit is actually alive. It actually is a being, but it's like sentient and slowly starts fusing with Baloney.
It's
And
like
Baloney,
Venom.
Sounds like-
yeah.
I
The
will.
Venom?
plot
What?
Sounds like Venom.
I haven't seen it.
But you don't know the
The story at all.
story of
It's okay.
Venom.
I didn't know
Well,
it
he's
either.
Spider-Man,
No.
Yeah.
right?
No.
no, this is not Tobey Maguire. He was not the best Spider-Man.
He was the best Peter
No, he
Parker.
wasn't.
wasn't. No.
He was the best Peter Parker.
Wait, let's go back to
No.
prize bunny for a second, because I think it would be great to have a magician up on stage just as like a bit and do like the whole like bunny out of a hat thing,
We built a giant hat,
and then he comes
and
out.
the guy just pulls.
Did
the
I
random
just do
thing.
something? Ooh.
I think you just found it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
see, that's
that'll be
two great-
$2,000.
That's two great ideas you've
That's
had
gonna
in
be
one
too
day.
great right there.
No, I think that like we should do the whole like magician into like a real bunny thing, and then be like, oh wait, do you guys want to see this like be maximized?
No.
And he pulls him out by his ears.
This is what we do. This is what we do. We set that up. We got this giant hat, right? And then the magician goes up to it, and he's like, "Oh, would you guys like to see a magic trick?" And he waves his wand. We have like a drum roll play in the background, and then he reaches in.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Wait, can I
This is
tell
perfect.
my idea though? I want to be the one to share it.
Yeah, you have to shout.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
I'll
gonna put this idea on hold.
Who is this?
Baloney.
Caleb.
Oh yeah.
Baloney.
Baloney.
Oh,
It's baloney.
ladies and gentlemen, we are actually about to phone the prize bunny himself.
Our first guest caller of the podcast.
Hey, you're currently on our podcast over phone.
Oh, what's up?
Wait, is
and
he next door? Can he just come over?
are you home right now?
I'm not home right now.
Oh, it's okay. We're
Okay,
just gonna shout this. We have an idea we want to share with you. That's okay. So Cassidy's in our office, and so she's gonna come on over and share this idea with you for Prize Bunny 2019 entrance. Okay.
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 Okay, so the idea is we have a magician come and do like a regular magic trick where you pull like the bunny out of a hat, like a regular one, and then be like, okay, kids, you want to see this like maximized? And then you're gonna be in the giant hat right next to him, and he's gonna pull you out by your bunny ears, and then that'll be the prize bunny intro.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, can I finish putting my spin on how I think it should go?
Yeah, Chance has a spin on it.
Yeah, so we have the hat and everything. We have the magician, drum roll sound effect or an actual drum roll. And then he waves his wand, drum roll stops, and he reaches in. And it's like, there's nothing there. And he's like, oh, that should have worked. And then we have Baloney fall from the ceiling.
Into the hat.
So
Be
we
like,
have-
sorry guys, I'm a little late.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You fall from the ceiling
Yes, I'm all
instead of being
for
pulled out
it.
of the hat. Cool. Anyways, we've just been talking about you for probably 10 minutes or so. So we thought we would call you and share that idea with you.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
we think it's great. So prepare yourself.
to be flying.
You might need to brainstorm with us on how to build a giant hat and make it work. So.
Yeah, totally. I'm your guy. I'll do whatever.
Okay, cool. Hey, you should come on our show soon.
Yeah, sure. I guess you guys are doing it right now, yeah?
Yeah, but Tamila's not here. She doesn't know.
Don't tell her.
Don't tell Tamila.
Yeah.
I won't tell her. I won't tell her anything.
Thank you.
Just tell her the secret.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Sweet. I love you.
That's it.
Talk to you later. Oh, okay.
Bye.
I hate when phone calls end like that.
Yeah. So,
No, I love you more. No, you hang up first.
so that was Baloney the Prize Bunny, everybody.
Yeah, he's a great man.
He's a great man.
Okay, so that'll really be
Such a
$2,000 though.
No, it won't.
But for my idea, I have to get paid for my ideas. They're precious.
You know how much I pay here. No.
I think it's a great
I pay
idea
with
though.
housing and food, so
If that can come to life, I think.
Wait,
that-
what?
I pay with food.
And the occasional liquor deli
Oh,
run.
yeah.
So
Wow, that was. I think that was just great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that it happened.
Such a good idea.
And the occasional bar therapy session.
so can we skip winter and just start planning summer now? then?
I'm already planning summer. I don't know where you guys have been.
I mean, summers get planned like a year in advance, so I'm sure you were having meetings last summer about next summer.
Yeah,
you-
let's say that. Yeah,
yeah.
let's just say we're that professional, and that we've been a year out.
Nothing was planned last minute last summer.
No, never.
Not a single thing.
Never.
Especially
That's never
my
happened in the
dad.
history of this camp.
Especially when Nate was summer staff coordinator or whatever you were supposed to be and hiring people the weekend before summer camp started.
Whatever you
I
were
wish it
supposed
was
to
only the weekend
Or
before.
having like 30 big videos that needed to be done before, like a day before camp started.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
didn't seem so hard to me.
No, it was really easy.
And your stage got done.
It was
Yeah,
a-
and my stage got done. It only took 48 hours. in a
Hey, you know
row.
what? No
Oh my
matter how last
gosh.
minute it was, it all happened.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that sunrise, that 2 days,
Mm.
and I almost cried.
Yeah, it was,
So
it was
sad.
very poetic. It was a poetic sunrise.
Yeah.
I just told this story to Nate's family the other night, but one of my either least favorite or favorite memories from summer was we were putting in those subs and those speakers into Summit, and I was told I could go home early because I was in tears of how late it was.
Yeah.
And I was walking in my car, and I opened up the door, and there's this big animal outside, and I don't even know what it was. So I just ran inside and said, nope, I can't leave now because there's something outside. And I think it was just Nate and Rippy and Giles that were like, let's go see what it is. And it turned out to be a javelina. And it was my first time ever seeing one. And I was like, okay, well, you guys block the javelinas while I run to my car. And they were like, yeah, we got you. So they're all three standing in the road waiting for me to get to my car. And Nate goes, oh my gosh, it's a family. There's a baby. I don't think you guys know anything about javelinas, but if you start to like provoke and yell at javelinas with babies, they start to charge at you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he starts to
very
yell
aggressive.
at them and he starts to provoke them and they all run inside and I'm not even to my car yet. So that was
That's
great.
funny.
I was just trying to impress.
Even back then.
Yeah, even back then. Like, I can fight javelinas.
I
You
don't-
always think you can, and then they start running at you, and you turn into like a baby. That is
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
they
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They all ran inside and I
If
still
you
had to get
guys
to my
don't
car.
know, javelina are like
Big pigs.
they're
Those are
technically in the
mountain pigs.
rodent family, so they're a giant rat, but they look more like pigs.
They're huge.
I think they're cute.
Oof.
They smell disgusting.
Yeah.
I think they smell good.
Cool chance. Awesome.
I don't know. I like them.
Fun times.
I wouldn't get near one, but
Nope.
oftentimes I live walking distance from downtown from my apartment, and oftentimes late at night I'll go into the town and do
As the youth say.
hood rat stuff. uh, and
Perfect.
and every now and then I'll bump into like javelina. Like the other night there was like it was amazing. It was like a block down. I saw a few javelina, and I was like, oh, there's some javelina. I have to sit here and wait it out. And more of them kept coming from across the street. There must have been like 20 of them that were crossing the street. And I was
Where there's one, there's
many.
I was
100.
ecstatic. I was so happy. They were all so cute.
The first night I moved to Prescott, or I guess it wasn't the first night, but the first night we moved into our home that we used to live in on Copper Basin, we were renting, and I hear this like rattling outside my window, and I was like, what is going on? I literally like opened the blinds. You know how you pinch your fingers and open them up and you see through the blinds? I swear, 50. I mean, our entire lawn was covered in javelina. And I was like, oh, snap.
It's like Christmas morning.
This is my life now.
Yeah.
They all have
But
bows
this
on
is
top
my
of their
friends.
head.
So I went to the front door and opened the front door, but we had that screen closed still.
Yeah.
And they were literally like, they were staring at me. And like I tried to jump at them, and then they jumped back at me. It's like, okay, never mind.
Can you go back
I'm gonna
inside
go back
now?
inside.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They were all named Garrett.
No, named Garrett.
That's
the worst.
stupid.
It's a dumb name.
I hate that.
I'm just kidding. If you're a Garrett and you're listening, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Jeez.
Take that back.
Chance is gonna get hate mail for this.
Yeah.
Dude, getting mail for this would be great.
Especially getting hate mail from the Garrett community.
Well, we did get a voicemail from it.
We did get an angry voicemail
Billy Baker.
from Billy Baker, who was our special guest last
Mhm.
podcast episode.
Mm.
Who was a great guest for me. I'm sorry if that bored the crap out of you guys. But he called Tamila after one of our podcasts talking about A Star Is Born. Just ragging on Tamila's opinion about the movie.
Oh man.
I encourage
funny.
you to watch it again. Anyways, so I went to see Halloween by myself this weekend.
Oh, how was it?
You know what? It was good. It was a short movie, so I had to cram a lot in. But when I go to watch Halloween movies or even scary movies in general, I try really hard to not go in with an analytical mind. Otherwise, I know I'm going to rip it apart because everybody knows horror movies suck. Like that's just
Oh yeah,
the
For sure.
but they're so fun.
They're so fun. And so I go in, and right off the bat, here's how I know my experience is going to go. By myself, the theater is freaking full, so I'm already upset because I'm like, I was supposed to enjoy this by myself, and everybody else decided to show up. I did not invite them. And then the last people to walk into the theater is a mom, probably 30, maybe,
Yeah.
late 20s. Walks in with two kids that are younger than my daughter. They seem like it. Like
Gosh.
maybe Riley's age 3. The other one is like barely walking. And they go right to the front row and they sit down. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, it was the most like rage I have felt towards another parent ever. 'Cause,
Yeah, you just don't do that.
No.
yeah, you just don't do that. Like, you can tell parents how to parent, or no, you don't tell parents how to parent. Like, they're their own kids. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in their lives, like whatever. But to
Right.
do something like that obviously shows that they are desensitized. Now, throughout the movie, you didn't hear a peep from them. They didn't cry. You didn't hear a scream. So either they fell asleep, which I hope, or they were just so desensitized to it because that has happened before,
Yeah.
and they don't care anymore. And I'm like, what are you doing, Mom? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
Let's talk about The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix because that is all the rage right now with the
No,
teens.
I don't. We can't.
Why?
I haven't watched it yet.
No, we're not going to talk about the content of it. I think we should just talk about how people are claiming, like, over social media that when they were watching it, they were so scared. They were, like, throwing up and passing out. And, like, that just seems really intense to me.
Yeah, we're kind of in a baby culture, though, so.
Yeah.
Okay, true.
True.
I mean, I'm
But
scared
I'll
of,
find
like,
out. If I throw up, I'll let you know.
I'm, like, scared of everything. We went to go see, what's, like, the alien movie that we saw? Predator?
Alien.
Predator.
Predator.
I didn't. That movie sucked.
I was hoping
And I
it
was
was
so
Alien.
scared at some of the points in Predator.
In Predator?
I get
That
scared
movie
of
was
everything.
stupid.
Predator's like.
You were there for half of it.
What?
You suddenly
No,
walked
that's
in
not
halfway
true.
through.
I came in like 20 minutes late.
Okay, no.
That's like halfway through.
Yeah.
I was working.
No, I'm not trying to, like,
I haven't
diss you
seen
for
it
coming
yet.
in late. I'm just trying to diss you for having an opinion when you walked in halfway late.
You didn't
Ah.
see the first 20 minutes, therefore you don't know the whole context of the movie.
All right.
So-
All right.
The scariest parts are at the beginning.
What's hard about
That's
Predator
fair.
is I feel like they just went too far. Like
It was too
Like,
bad
they-
at that
they-
point.
beat the horse like too
Yeah.
many times.
They
I
tried
don't like that.
The horse was
Analogy.
glue by that point.
I don't like this.
No, but it's true.
And they were
like,
trying to use the glue to fix the movie.
Like I hate when like shows do it. Like they go one extra season and they just like butcher
yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, too much.
bands like come out with one extra album and they probably should have retired.
Yeah.
Either retired or like waited and put more time into it.
Yeah.
Like Weezer after Pinkerton.
Yeah, and they're
Sure.
doing it again. So
Wait, how is their new? What have you heard their new album? No, it hasn't dropped yet.
hasn't dropped
They just
yet.
announced it.
No, I'm just joking.
He's just joshing
I
around.
love Weezer.
Just like you love Rush.
I hate Rush. Rush is a crappy band for crappy people.
See, like that joke.
Okay,
Stop
but
beating
you
it
have
up.
to
Like that
apologize
joke-
to all the fans that,
That
like
joke has
Rush.
gone one season too long.
That was-
What are you talking about? I'm not joking. My goal is to diss Rush so much that Geddy Lee cries into his baseball collection every night.
See, how do you know that he has
Yeah.
a baseball collection?
Well, because he puts a lot of effort into hating Rush. It's not even just like, oh, I don't like their music. It's like, let me put all of this effort
I spent
into getting their stuff just to despise the fact that I don't like them.
I spent south of $200 on Rush merchandise just to stick it to
You
them.
said
So-
south of, meaning like you
It's
spent
just shy of.
$100 one time for a nice jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
The
right.
first time I
Oh,
ever...
okay. Not just a nice jacket. I got an exclusive 40th anniversary version of Farewell to Kings, the album, which has remastered songs from Farewell to Kings, and then when you get to the last two discs, it has a restored concert from I think the 70s, and it's amazing. And then it has a bunch of covers on the other
Okay.
side.
He said,
But
And
you
of
only-
course, the thing is,
Amazing.
I know this because I study Rush, so I have valid points to come at them.
I was going to say, you only know all
What
of
you
this, and you only
said.
bought all of that so that you could throw it off of your balcony and watch it crumble below
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Yeah, of
but
course.
you
Absolutely.
still haven't done it yet.
Huh?
You haven't done that
Well,
yet.
I'm waiting for the right time.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that they're going
I'm
to
waiting
see
for
it.
the constellation of Cygnus X1, which is a Rush song on Farewell to Kings, to line up perfectly, and then throw it Rocinante style into the abyss.
Who's Rocinante?
It's the ship in the Cygnus X1 song.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'm very gullible.
So
So, the
I
first
know-
time I like heard this like whole thing about Chance is about like not liking Rush, but having all this Rush stuff. I saw your phone case, which used to have either like a sticker or a photo or something with
It was,
Rush
it was a
on
Rush
it.
case, yeah.
Exactly, and I was like, dude, if you hate Rush so much, why do you have a phone case? You go, oh, I do it just to despise them. Fully believed him. I was like, are you kidding me? You put that
And
much
then you
effort
walk into
it?
his office and you see the jacket hanging over the chair with a Rush on it.
Everything was Rush.
And then you look at his
I really just
coffee
believed it,
mug,
though.
which is a Rush coffee mug.
I really.
And then you
believed it.
hear what he's listening to through his headphones, which is Rush. And then he brings his bass into work and just plays some bass tunes, which is Primus.
Rush.
I attempt to play Rush in Primus. I could play Weezer just fine on the bass, though.
Oh, hey, I found a thing on Amazon. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
That you would like. It's a Jack White kind of concert video, I guess.
Oh.
But he plays songs from his new album, which I really like.
The brand new one that came out this
Well,
year?
Yeah. The,
Yeah. Boarding House Reach, right?
I think so. The one that
I
we
love
played.
that album.
Maybe not this year when we went to Vegas. We listened to it, and you're like, I think this will be the only song you like.
Wow, that's really intense.
And so
Yeah.
he played songs from that album, and then like some of his old stuff with the Rocking Tours, and
Oh, cool. Yeah.
and obviously Seven Nation Army. So,
Yeah.
but he played that. It was a concert show, and then he also went to his old high school and played some songs at his high school.
Oh, wow.
In the courtyard. So it's a little bit. So I think you'd like it. I don't remember what it's
You
called.
should send me a link or something. I'll
You
watch
should
it.
just look up Jack White, and I think that's the only thing that's
Too
fine.
much-
Yeah, you'll
too
probably
much
find
work.
it.
That's great. Yeah, his new album that came out this year was called Boarding House Reach, and it was just so good.
Mm.
The percussion on that whole album was amazing. The songs were
Female
great.
drummer.
Really?
Yeah.
On that
which-
album?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
listening, which, if you guys know, like, that's like my thing. I love female drummers, not because of any stigma or anything. It's just
Right.
there's something extremely.
I hate to be like full-fledged
Awesome
teenage
about it.
girl, but if you ever listen to the Harry Styles album,
I would never do that.
okay, first of all, really good songs actually, like really good.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of country in there for you, because he does like a few country songs. Point being, the drummer is also female on his whole album, and then he toured with her as well, and she was amazing, like so good.
And Skillet.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though I don't listen to
100%.
that band anymore, they still have a special place in my heart, and
They will always have a
that
special place. in my
is She's a great drummer.
Jen Ledger. She's not even the original drummer for
No,
Skillet.
yeah.
The original drummer for Skillet was also a female. So
Yeah.
I don't remember her name though, because Jen
Mate
Ledger's
likes
awesome.
Harry Styles.
I do. His Kiwi song is my favorite.
Kiwi, do you love me?
Is that about a
That
girl?
one, right?
Yes, it is about a girl.
Isn't that
no,
about like a
that-
famous girl?
No, it's about like things that happen on tour when you're a teenager.
Like what, Cassidy?
I thought
if you listen to the song, it's like the entire chorus repeated about 6 times.
Cue Nate searching for the song.
Cue
Do
me.
you want me to play it? I'll demo.
Wait, what's the guy's name again?
Oh my God, no.
Zane something?
No, stop. We're just gonna play it right now.
I got it right here.
Justin Timberlake?
Is it be loud enough?
It's one of those boy
Yeah.
bands.
Oh wait, I'm watching. Never mind.
Okay, here we go. Got it. Oh,
Remember to down tune this so we.
Oh yeah,
don't
we're gonna
copyright
detune it.
okay. That's a little loud.
it. Ooh, see, I like this because it's like rock and roll.
This is a song, and the drummer is a female. She's so ham.
I could dig that. That's fine.
So this is the song. I went to his concert in LA, and there was 2 nights, LA night 1 and night 2. Night 2 was his last like show ever on his solo tour. Like that's how we ended it, was at the Forum in LA. And we went to night 1, it was fun, and then I had some of my friends that went to night 2, and he sang Kiwi 3 times in a row to end the concert because he didn't want it to end. It was like really intense because he's like, I don't know, he's not a great dancer, but he's a great performer and interactor with his like audience.
People say the same about me.
Yeah.
I could talk a lot about Harry Styles, and I'm not even that big of a fan of him. I just think
And
that
David
like
Lee Roth.
Yes.
When you mentioned that
David
he was my
Roth is a great
favorite.
dancer.
I didn't say he was your
Yeah,
favorite.
he is.
Oh.
I said that you liked
He can't
him.
sing as good as
Oh,
Sammy
when you
Hagar,
said
though.
that, I couldn't remember what the song was called. So the first word that came in my head was avocado, and I didn't think that was right. And then I remembered it was like a fruit. So.
Can we talk about the potentially crocodile on the ceiling? Maybe alligator. Can't tell.
Oh, the Lego?
No.
Okay.
We can't talk
We
about
We
that.
can't talk about it.
That's fine. That's why I asked. That's why
You know
I
what?
just
Shut the
started talking about
podcast off. People know
Yeah,
too
can we
much.
shut this down?
Family
We've
secret.
said too
Turn it
much.
off.
it. Do you guys have? What are your thoughts on like mediums, like people that feel like they can tap into like the other side?
I actually have some very serious thoughts about that. So
Because-
I'm,
that was a good
I'm
job,
not gonna get into
Cassie.
it.
It's a what?
That was a good job.
Wait, with what?
I feel like you're transitioning into something.
No, I'm genuinely curious.
It would change the dynamic of this podcast if we start
Oh.
talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Not in a creepy way because I'm going to shut it down like super quick.
Yeah, me too. Me too. By the way.
But I will say that I love the show like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
Oh, those
all
are
that
so
stuff.
fun.
I don't believe
I
in
don't
a
like
lick of
Ghost
it.
Hunters. When they like are like yelling, I just get so annoyed. I like Ghost Adventures. I think that's like interesting, and I think that like their like theory of going into it trying to debunk rather than find something that's real is super interesting. But Ghost Hunters, I think it is the one that I just like.
So the funny thing is, Cassie has cable in her dorm.
That must be nice.
So
What's that like?
So we don't
Jeez.
have it here. So
No.
whenever I go visit her, I immediately turn on the TV and she has Ghost Adventures. This one like TV station has it playing.
It's like True TV, but
24/7.
like 2. You know how there's like MTV and MTV2? I think it's True TV 2 because it's like either
just
that,
always
Impractical
on.
Jokers, or
Impractical
what's the-
Jokers is on Netflix now, and I'm so excited about
I
it.
What's
love
the
that
Carbonaro
show.
effect? That's
Yeah,
the other one. It's like
Carbonaro.
those 3 that are
on
just like rotating.
Netflix right now. I love those shows. My grandparents watch those shows with me, and that means that they're great shows.
I want to see Impractical Jokers
That's fair.
live, but I don't know how they would do that. Because like there's like a live Impractical Jokers show, and I just don't know how they do that live. But I guess I have to watch it to find out.
Yeah. Stay
Okay,
tuned.
so here's a story. So, back in the day, oh, that's done. That was my phone dropping on the floor. Back in the day, I went on a birthday excursion with one of my friends. We went to Tombstone, Arizona.
That's an interesting place to go to.
Yeah.
For a birthday.
Jerome?
These friends were obsessed with ghost hunting.
Okay.
Good friends of mine, love them to death. I was not obsessed with ghost hunting. But I went along because it was really fun to play. It was like I put my mindset in like I'm just here to play a game. Like
Yeah.
this is fun to play.
It's like lighthearted kind of
Yeah.
fun stuff.
For them, it wasn't.
No,
For
yeah,
them,
but
it was 100% serious.
to get into that mindset, you kind of have to look at it like that.
So they went with every intent to go ghost hunting in Tombstone, Arizona.
Weird.
Tombstone, Arizona. Middle of nowhere.
Right.
Known for tons of things from Old West, you know,
So tons of nothing.
Doc Holliday, Billy the Kid, Wyatt Earp, all those things, right? But also for ghosts. So the whole town has built this kind of platform of go ghost hunting. Like that's their tourist attraction. It's like you pay for all these different ghost tours. So
Interesting.
night one, we lock ourselves. We paid and locked ourselves in the Birdcage Theater.
Weird.
Yeah, and so I'm in there with like 30 other people. It was really like 20 other people. All of them had like these handheld recorders. Like some of them had video cameras, and like they're old video cameras. So apparently you can't go ghost hunting without like an old camcorder that still takes like analog footage.
No, that's against the rules.
Yeah, because I guess like the digital footage can be tampered with by ghosts. So
Oh, you ghosts.
Don't you know?
So first off, what they do is they walk you through during the day to show you what the building's like. It's a museum now. It's just got a bunch of stuff in it. But they walk you through it in the day to show you what it looks like so that way you can compare it to the nighttime. And I'm walking through it during the day, and there's just tons of freaking dust everywhere. It's desert. It's dirt.
Yeah.
It's an old building, so it leaks dirt. Then we get locked in there at night, and like it was the weirdest and most fun thing I've ever done in my life. Like everybody's like freaking out and asking all these ghosts these questions that they think are existing right now, and then like they would take pictures, and like they'd look at the camera, like they'd review the footage. Like somebody had like a digital one, which I guess is against the rules, but they had it and they reviewed it, and they, like you know when you take a picture with your flash and the speck of dust is there, it
Yeah.
Like
lights up.
magnifies it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see the speck of dust, obviously a speck of dust, because behind the one that was really big in front of the lens is a billion of them
Yeah.
behind it. And they're like, oh my God, it's an orb.
It's an orb.
No,
No.
that's dust, my friend. And I said it one time, and everybody gave me the death stare. I said nothing else the entire night, except for this one time. We were sitting. They put us on the stage because it's a theater, like you know, they did shows and stuff. We're sitting in a circle, and I'm right in front of the air vent. Right in front of it.
Yeah.
Just right in front of it. You hear the rattling of you know an old air conditioner kicks on. It's going through the piping and
It's
stuff
like settling almost.
Yes. You hear
Yeah.
that happen.
Wait, one more time. I didn't get it quite. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
You hear it starting, and then it takes a couple seconds, and all of a sudden, like my pant leg started to rustle, and it was cold. It's cold air. The person next to me, no lie, says, "Something just touched my leg. Did you feel it? Did you feel it? Something just touched my leg." And the person next to them goes, "I felt it too." And then I go, "Me too." Just to play along.
They should pay you to like
Really, I should be a hype
go out
man.
there. Yeah.
I should
Oh
be a
my
hype
Hype
man.
man for ghosts.
That's funny.
Clearly the air conditioner. Clearly.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But then we did the next night a tour of the OK Corral. And this was my favorite one. This is what the story is really about. We walk around with EVP readers or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The little
Maybe. I don't know.
little
The-
thing that's supposed to read.
It's an EVP.
Yeah, an
The electric.
yeah,
Electronic voice something.
I don't care.
Ghosts.
Something.
Electronic ghosts.
If the light turns red, there's a ghost.
Yeah.
It's like a meter, green, yellow, red. Yeah, green it stays at when it's just a normal amount of electricity in the air. So we're touring this place. We're walking around. It's nighttime, and we get to the back, and he says, "Okay, you're gonna have some time to go around and do your thing." And we see outside of the corral is the police tower. There's a police tower right there, and somebody had asked, like, "Is that gonna affect it? That's a police tower." Oh. No. That they never make calls on that. Like, no, it's not gonna affect it.
They don't.
So we start walking around, and then like what we're supposed to do is if we saw any activity, we'd shout, and then somebody would come over, and then if
Oh,
then
that's the
everybody
perfect
comes
method.
over, well, yeah, that's just so everybody can come see it. So everybody shows up with their meters, right? So my friend was walking by the wall that's closest to the cell phone or the police tower,
Yeah.
and it starts going off, of course.
Well, duh.
And so he's like,
Weird.
I got something. So everybody runs over, and all of their devices start going off. Me too. I'm just like, oh my God.
You people.
It was so funny. It was so funny. Okay.
We I have a I promise this is going somewhere, but we have a pool in the backyard, and I don't know who it was trying to switch out a light on the side of a wall that was connected to our house, but they were trying to switch out this light, and they couldn't, and they felt the wall, and it was really, really hot, and they're like, shoot, there might have been a fire that started on the inside of the wall. Like, they're like messing with the wires and stuff. So they called, I don't know who, but the fire truck came, so it must have been 911. And they got one of those like heat like register things, you know, when they like use it in ghost hunting all the time, where you can see if like a heat
Like
wave
an infrared gun.
yeah. And I was a little bit younger, but my sister and I were super into like ghost hunters and ghost adventures, so they started to use it, and I was like, can I take it around my house? Can I use this? And the guy made some really like passive joke about how I can only use it at night because that's the only time the ghosts come out. But I thought it was so cool they actually like used it in real life.
Yeah, because it's
awesome.
an actual tool to do people's work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Imagine
not
that.
to find
That's
ghosts.
funny.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. I never really like. I wasn't really into like. I didn't want to scare myself, and I feel like believing ghosts would scare myself.
Right.
But I was at camp this summer, and they were just.
Okay,
The
well,
stories people come up with are great.
Should I tell
Like,
the one I heard from our friend, who's an intern here? She told me the story back in. I'll tell it how she told me, and then like you guys can clarify, because I'm sure that you'll like find all the flaws in it.
okay, hold on. We need a reference just before you start. Camp is a really bad place to tell ghost stories because there's a lot of really old
Oh yeah.
things.
Oh, and
Uh-huh.
everything's rustling in the bushes, like
Yeah.
Everything
yeah.
makes
Everything
noise,
breaks
including my
down.
knees.
all the
Like,
lights, all of the lights break, even if you just put batteries in them. So it's like the perfect place for it to happen.
Yeah,
Do
our,
we have
our
lights that take
venues are
batteries?
super haunted.
Yeah.
Everything goes wrong.
And it's all
and not
'cause
to
of
mention
ghosts.
there's ghosts here, so
Yeah.
So
That's what I was. That's what I find whenever I troubleshoot something.
it's a ghost.
That's what was wrong with the P16s.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
one weekend.
convinced with the one mic, when it just kept on going out, like the frequency would just change, and we're like, we didn't even change the frequency on it. What's going on? It was a
the
ghost.
ghost, yeah.
No, so okay, so this is, I'll tell you how she told me it. It's a dark night in summer 2015, and there was this summer staff, either intern or male, that worked there, and he was walking from Farview to Bucks alone, because that's really safe to do on a much upward climb with no flashlights and nobody around him. And at the time, there was this really big white house right
It's still
next to
there.
Bucks that we didn't own, but like it had been cleared, like nobody was living there.
Abandoned.
Yeah. And so like it's been known that just like the house is just empty. And when he was walking by it, he saw this light on in one of the rooms, and he was like, that's weird, but you know, kids go in there, whatever, do hood rat stuff. So this summer staffer went to go clean it out and be like, hey, you guys got to get out of here, whoever was supposed to be in there. That's what his intention was. And he walks in on this group of, it was told to me, 6 to 8 old men sitting in a circle on the ground with like candles doing a satanic ritual.
Oh gosh.
I'll tell you the real story after this so that you could feel a little bit more
Wait,
at
this
ease.
isn't the real story?
No, this isn't the real. This is like what I was told. So I'm like
okay.
freaking out about all of this. And apparently they told him like, you guys got to get out, blah, blah, blah. And then ever since then, like weird stuff has gone on. What the real story is, it's very similar. They went in, they like saw people coming out of the house. Like the summer staffer saw the people coming out of the house, and it was like the old men, and had said like, hey, you guys got to get out, like you guys can't be here. And they're like, sorry, like whatever, we'll be out. And him being the summer staffer and a few of his buddies went in to go like clean out whatever they were doing, and they found these burnt candles with this like satanic ritual that was on the ground. So they cleaned it up, whatever. They were freaked out, but they cleaned it up and they like put it all away, whatever, like broke whatever. What was the wood that was on the ground? They like, oh, it was a Ouija board. So they broke the Ouija board in half and like threw it away, whatever. Come back the next night, same group of guys walking from wherever to Bucks where they were staying, and the light is back on in the house. And he's like, are they really there again? They go in there, nobody's there, the candles are on, lit, with the Ouija board back in place.
I have heard that story.
I have also heard the story.
And it like drew like media attention so much that like people were coming on camp and like trespassing when they come see this house.
So Nate, do you want to shed some light? Because you were around, I'm pretty sure.
It was the year before me.
Yeah.
So
Or-
it wasn't
You were
2015.
the
what was
closest
it?
around.
Yeah. So it was. It's so. I love hearing these stories because it's always like the year before, and like
Nobody
was
was actually there.
no one was there. But
You're the one who told me the real story though about them going back in and seeing all the things back in place after they had cleaned it up.
and I don't know if that's true or not. I've just heard it from,
Like through the grapevine.
yeah,
Everything's
through the
hearsay at
grapevine.
this point.
So this is why I think the stories are funny, and I don't know if I believe them. I don't say them because I think they're like funny, but the second story she said, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of variations of it. I heard that summer staffers would like the ones that found it originally like snuck around and like were just like watching like from the windows like creepy like.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, and I heard they didn't say anything to them and ran away. I've heard that one. I've heard that this is a regular occurrence. Like this still happens. Like this is just like a Monday night thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just what they do.
Well, you know the stories about Upper Paintball too.
It's the same house.
Yeah, it's the same house.
Okay, so I didn't know that. Oh, is that okay? So
The
when I
A-frame
went to
house.
go get Alyssa's water
Yeah.
bottle, so I was with
That's
my
the
friend
house.
Alyssa, and it was after session had gotten out, so it was probably like 9-10 o'clock, and she had left her water bottle up at Upper Paintball when she was working that rec that day. So we were in my car, and she's like, "Can you take me up there to grab it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we go up there, and she grabs her water bottle, whatever, gets back in my car, we swing by her house, and she's grabbing a jacket so that we can go get food. And she gets back in my car, and she goes, "My back hurts so much right now." She's like, "I feel like I like hit it, got like a bruise or something." She's like, "Can you check it out?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I look at her back, and I'm like, "No, you're messing with me. Like, this is a joke. Like, we went to Upper Paintball. Everybody knows it's haunted, whatever." She's like, "No, what are you talking about?" I was like, "You're like, you have to be messing. Like, this cannot be real." I kid you not, 4 distinct scratch marks across her back. Like, but like not 4 as in like 4 different ones, like 4 fingers in the shape of a hand that have scratched her back. In like a really weird, like awkward position that I probably couldn't grab. Maybe she could. Like, she couldn't have done it herself, is what my understanding of it was. And I was like, "You have to be joking. Like, this can't be real. There's no way." And I kicked her out of my car and told her that we couldn't go get food
That stuff is
because I was terrified.
that's creepy. And let's talk about something else.
Okay.
How long have we been going for with the podcast?
I don't know.
You're the one that's on the computer.
You're the one in front of the computer.
100.
We're
almost. We are at 2,000 beats
We're getting pretty close
What's
to
the
an hour.
BPM?
Because I think
at 120 BPM per minute.
we started around
we,
3.
minute.
We just hit.
30 minutes? Is that what you said?
No,
I said
I
BPM
think
per
we're close
minute.
to
That
an
sounds
hour.
for beats.
Oh,
per
really?
Again?
I think so.
Dang.
Oh, I don't think that we
Let's
should end
stop
on this
this.
kind of note because
No, no. Let's think of something else.
Cats the musical.
No. What about?
Angelical cats, angelical cats.
There's
Stop it.
I'm really excited to finish this podcast because there's this Post Malone cover. He covers
I
Bob
love
Dylan,
Posty.
Sublime, Nirvana, Green Day, and other live.
Ooh,
I
compilations.
love
I
Post
want to
Malone.
hear that.
Okay,
So,
so we'll
uh,
link that down below, and you guys can go watch it after listening to this because that's what we're gonna do.
We don't link anything.
Let's.
That's a lie.
I would love to end the podcast on this note. Post Malone should stop getting tattoos on his face.
No, get more
What?
tattoos.
Should get
I
less
think
the
they're
story.
so iconic.
It's like a great book.
I saw
What?
a photo of Post Malone without the tattoos on, like somebody photoshopped it. It was really
And he
weird.
looked like a normal human
It
being.
was
looked like a
so
little kid.
weird.
It looked like his name could actually be Austin.
Hey,
Is that his
Austin,
real
let's go
name?
play
That's his real
baseball.
There's a really funny Jimmy Fallon video. I think it's Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. I always get them mixed up with Post Malone
How
and
can you
Olive
get
Garden.
them mixed up?
What?
Because I don't watch enough late night to
They're
really
two
know.
completely different people.
Okay, so
No,
one
that's
late
not
night-
true. Why is their names both Jimmy?
Mm,
they're different people.
Conspiracy. Okay, anyways.
Then are they different people?
Then are you the same as Chance the Rapper?
Yeah.
Chance?
I
Chance.
went there.
Well, I mean, we do have one thing in
Chris
common.
Barnum, are you related to P.T. Barnum?
Yes. You guys know what me and Chance the Rapper have in common, right?
I actually am. So.
What?
Neither of us can rap.
That's a lie.
Ooh. Dun, dun,
You
dun,
can
dun.
rap.
Just
I've
kidding.
heard your SoundCloud.
I can rap.
You can rap.
Thanks,
That's
man.
probably the
I
only
appreciate
link we
that.
should link in this video.
Really, Chance's
Chance's
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
I think that's gonna happen now.
Okay.
So that's how we're gonna end it. Is we're gonna encourage people
Yeah, go listen to
Can we
Chance's
do
to
an
listen
outro
to-
with one of your songs?
to
Yeah.
listen to Chance's.
Can you pull one up so that we can
Have
play
you
it as we
copyrighted
do
it
an
yet?
outro?
No.
You need to do
You
that
need to hurry up and do that.
because
I'll-
someone's
I'll-
gonna hear this and they're gonna steal it from you.
I'll
Like Chance the
copyright it
Rapper.
right when we're done. So we'll. I guess we'll
So
just.
don't get any ideas, people.
I look up SoundCloud Chance, and the first thing that comes up is Chance the Rapper. So you need to get up there.
You should just make your tag Chance the not rapper.
Chance, not the rapper.
My tag is Shrimp. Here we
Oh,
go.
that's why. This is the outro. Thanks for listening today.
Is that you doing the whoa-whoos?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay, it's me. Drop it like it's Nesquik. Move white girls like there's Nutella in my backpack.
There's some bad language here, just letting you know.
I love puppies, I love kittens, man. I should be running PETA.
Can you bleep every time that it's about to say a swear word?
I might be able to.
Peace. Yeah.
This Asian dude, his girl is nice. I wish them nice and a nice life. My dick is like a groundhog. It's all about the celibacy. Hot like a parked car. I sound weird like white people who want to say the N-word. And just like the people who are watching Rick and Morty. Eating Oreos like these white girls that ignore me. Looking for my ladies. Sunny D for a grown man. Hanging in the grocery. Looking for a roast ham. I make the beat retarded, so I'm calling it challenging. Don't use the R-word, it's offensive. He'll start a fire. Go me. These rappers are afraid of him. Cause I'm a beast, bitch.
Oh, bleep!
You forgot to bleep.
Oh, I was gonna do that in post.
No, we don't post.
We don't edit any of this.
Bleep.
Phase me.
Oh, can you do it live right now?
I could try.
Bleep! Bleep! Dang it! I missed it.
I ain't that dumb. Yeah, dumb.
Why does every white kid gotta rap some?
I don't know.
All I know is I'm the worst one. It's a bonfire. Turn the lights out. I'm eating Lunchables and Taco Bell and sauerkraut. It's a bonfire. Turn the lights
Chance, I have one question after this song.
Yeah, what's up?
That was
So-
straight
So
fire.
So I just imagine you doing this song and you have to stand up like when you're rapping.
Yeah.
I feel like were you standing up the whole time and just like yelling at your computer?
No, I was sitting at my computer.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you have a do you hold onto your desk for leverage? Like, what's your stance, or I guess your pose when
Yeah,
you
It's
give
a
us a-
bonfire.
like
Turn the
this?
mics
You have-
out.
No, you were not leaning on your elbow like that.
That I was doing that. I was doing this. Sometimes I would do this.
Like, how do you brace yourself? There's got to be some sort of brace.
I feel like there's a lot
You
of
guys don't
energy
understand Chance's energy.
that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of angst there too.
Yeah.
Little neck
I
out.
don't really remember. Like, I think I probably like stood up straight and might have grabbed like the handles of my chair.
I feel like you started like sitting down and then you like kicked the chair back and then you just started like going.
For the listeners, Nate is in a full-fledged lunge right now, just to
Oh,
get
yeah.
a really good
It was really
visual
intense.
of what's going on.
If I could rap, I think I would have the best like posture for it.
Oh, I agree.
My brain doesn't
I
think,
think that.
quick enough.
I would
Yeah.
agree. I don't have good rapping posture in terms of like I can't.
So what you should do is you should record the songs and then Nate should lip sync them like everybody else does.
Yeah. And then we just post them on. Those
Oh,
are
and
the
I'll be a
videos.
So
I'll
that's
be
kind
a
of like
faceless
Macklemore
rapper.
and Ryan Lewis, because we don't really know what Ryan Lewis does anyways.
Most of it.
No, I Wikipedia'd it one time.
Wikipedia it.
Yeah, it's,
Is that really a term nowadays that the kids are using?
It's called
I wouldn't
Wikied.
know. I'm gonna be 26
wicked
next
it.
month.
We wicked it.
Took it to the
I wicked
penthouse
it.
and we wicked it.
That sounds really bad.
It was a parody of a really bad joke. Anyway, guys, this was a episode I lost count of the Tam Cam.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us here.
We gotta end
Tune
it
in
like
next
we did.
time for potentially Tamila gonna be here. Maybe she won't be,
Uh,
but
That should be our bit. Like we
Will
try to do
Tamila ever
whenever
be here?
Tamila's out of the office, like during lunch.
but we don't tell her. I want to know how
45
long it's
minutes.
gonna take for her to
I'm a
find this
spiritual
out.
miracle, lyrical individual, spiritual miracle, lyrical individual, spiritual.
Can that be our outro song?
Yeah.
From here on out.
Yeah.
But just the chorus.
Yeah.
Just like